Welcome to the American Warrior Festival podcast, a celebration of our troops, veterans, and American way of life. I'm your host, Dan Clor. The American Warrior Festival podcast brought to you by the Red Osier Landmark Restaurant, Western New York's premier dining experience, known for its amazing prime rib and dedication to the veteran community. Visit them online at theredosier.com.
Hello, American Warrior Festival family. This is episode 11 of the American Warrior Festival podcast. And this episode is titled the Music Venue episode. And we're very happy to have two of our very good friends on tonight with us. Randy Peck with the Montage Music Hall and Gina Vertucci with Malones Concert Venue. How you guys doing?
Good.
Good. Thank you.
Oh, thanks for coming on tonight. Sorry about the little delay there, but glad to have you.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
So how's everything going, guys? It's been a while since we've been able to touch base and catch up with each other. How's it going, Randy? What's going on down the street here in Batavia?
Yeah, we're slow. We're on pause. We're on pause again.
Yeah, is it any new news on that? I know you were looking at some stuff in March, correct?
Well, I should preface it by saying we could open, but we're not going to right now.
What's that? Sorry.
No, I said we could open. We're back into like the yellow zone.
Oh, okay.
But we're not going to right now. The numbers are just too high. Well, if you're here, we're
Right.
Rochester's the Finger Lakes region. We're very high still. Hospitalizations are high. So with all that going on, we're just going to kind of put things on pause until the numbers get better, the vaccines get, out there a little bit more, and just, lay low for a bit.
Okay, so you kind of just playing it by ear. So you really, do you have anything on the calendar yet for?
Well, we're hoping that, I know that they're going to initiate the Defense Production Act soon, and I hope that testing gets more rapid and the vaccines get in a few more arms and whatnot. So we're looking right now at mid-March and beyond to just start some local programming. I don't think we're going to be doing anything national until at least the summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, and it's one of those things, right? I mean, it kind of changes it's week to week at this point, right? I mean,
yeah.
It's kind of hard
I just don't think we're going to be doing anything for a little bit. I mean, the transmission's just too high. So.
Right now, Gina, how about you?
We've been closed since March. So we were able to open up for a few months in between, but we make all our money on the music. So for during the week time, that was always a break even. So it wasn't even worth it for us. We'd lose money probably to open. So we keep moving. We have shows. We keep moving them down 2-3 months down the road. We cancel. Like all our shows have been like rescheduled at least 4 times so far. And now our earliest one is mid-March. That's our first next show that's scheduled. And we're still not even allowed to be open right now. So who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, because right now, Southern California, and for our listeners and viewers, Randy is in Rochester, New York, and Gina is in Santa Ana, California. So Southern California, which right now is, I was just there recently for almost 2 months, and it was, everything was closing up. I mean,
yeah.
But let's put it in perspective. 20 some degrees. Gina, where are you? 70s.
Yeah.
At least you got the weather.
Yeah. It was like 90, I think, last week.
Oh,
That's true. We got a patio we can't use right now either.
I know.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, no, you guys have a very similar venue situation. I mean, it's pretty much, you guys run things very similarly. It's all about the music. It's, the live bands. Gina, are you open for games and stuff once in a while? Maybe on a Saturday or Sunday? Maybe
No,
during the
because
day?
industrial. So we are only open during the week, and then we'd open on the weekends for the bands, like at nighttime. So we don't even do sports right now, or work.
Okay. Right. And
So,
Randy, you don't
and then
do
all the
anything-
business
Go ahead.
businesses are all working from home, most of them. So it's not even worth it for us to even try to open during the week when we were allowed to a few months ago.
Right. So you said your last show was in March of 2020, right?
Yeah, we've been totally closed ever since then. Yeah.
And Randy, your last show was?
We were able to open. We closed down. Regulations opened up a little bit. Restrictions, I should say, and so we did like 2.5 months and just tried to do whatever we could do. I mean, there a lot of bands just didn't want to play. The attendance was less than by far what it normally was. As I was telling you, we had to go to like tables and chairs. We could only do a certain amount of people. So it wasn't very lucrative, but it was better than nothing for the time. That was like over the summer at some point. So we've been closed since, let's just say, the beginning of October at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know you did everything you could. You were really getting creative with. I think you put some kind of like fiberglass up on the stage, right? You were doing
Plexiglass. Yeah, we did.
plexiglass.
Yeah, we did that. So just
Plexiglass,
in front of lead singer, in front of guitar, in front of bass, and Gina, what's your capacity where you are? You're the size of your room.
Oh, we could get 500 people in there.
Okay, we're a little smaller than that. Yeah. So I'm sorry, I'm asking questions.
No, go ahead, Randy. Feel free.
You do
It's open.
local and national, or just national bands? Local and national?
Mostly local. Yeah,
Oh.
we do both. But the majority is local, and then like once a month or twice a month we'll get a national act.
So yeah, we're like the reverse of that. Probably we deal mostly with national acts and local. I mean, the local scene just is all but Dan could let you know. I mean, we tried to do a couple festivals, and the local scene is all but dried up in, a lot. I wouldn't even say just like define it to Western New York. It's sort of like across the country to where local bands just aren't what they used to be. So we don't define ourselves on that programming anymore. So again, it's going to be a while before we get back into like more than just local shows.
You guys. It's two of my favorite rooms in the country. By the way, you guys are two of my favorite venue owners. You guys have always been very, very good to us. I mean, Randy and I go back to 1998, I think, probably when you were running the Steel Music Hall.
Yeah.
And Gina, I think we go back to 2012, 13, 11. I don't know, somewhere in there. I think. When did you buy?
Yeah,
when did you buy?
I feel like it's been 10 years.
About 10 years.
2003.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah,
so
I feel like 10 years since I met you. Yeah.
And we've done some of the Music Academy stuff with the kids, and we've done a few FNF shows there. And
that was the first time I met you, and you came in wanting to do one of those shows for the kids.
Yeah, Randy, she's got a really interesting room because she's got a 2-stage thing going.
Oh.
So she can ping pong them. Yeah.
We changed the name too. We're calling it Stages now to match the 2 stages.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's
I figured since we're closed down, I might as well do all the ABC work. So we actually got it finished. So
okay. Now you still have Don there with you, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Don, I haven't seen him since March, but
oh, really?
Yeah. Yep. So I mean, hopefully, I haven't talked to him in a few months. Hopefully he's gonna come back. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, we were able to do one show in 2020. It was a one of those sports bars, like development shows. Randy, we did it at TF Brown's there in Batavia.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And it went real well. It was the only event we were able to do. We had a lot of interesting events going on. We had have a bunch of stuff with the Yankees, and that is being continued on into this year. We've been able to kind of it's been one of the toughest times for us as far as live events, but we've never had a better time building the team. Like, we've been able to build up our squad of like some West Point people, Naval Academy people to come in, and we're starting to get into the virtual firing range events, ruck runs, like the fitness boot camp type stuff. Music, live music is always going to be our bread and butter, and it's the common thing. So even when we're doing, I think the only place where we're not going to have music is on the firing ranges. And that's,
right.
Because for obvious reasons, but even inside the store, we plan on having an acoustic performer in the corner. Someone made a joke. They're like, if he sucks, someone going to shoot him? I'm like, I hope not. But you never know. I guess it depends. But yeah, we've been kind of getting into some new things and rolling out events where people can just do them on their own time. Like the virtual ruck run, you could pick a pack, how long you want to run, and you pay like a registration fee. You go do the run, get your time, take a little video, we get you a t-shirt and a medal and a thank you, and just a way to get fit and to help us kind of keep things rolling.
That's nice.
Yeah, I know we've all had to get creative. So I guess this is going to lead to asking you guys a question of, I mean, I know Gina, you said you haven't opened it all, but how's this been kind of getting through this time period and the challenges here that both you guys have faced? Whoever wants to go first, you can go ahead and take the floor.
Randy,
I'll go second.
Okay. Well, it's like you said, you don't want to sit still, but there's
Right.
nothing to do. So we actually, I haven't even talked to since. I mean, I brought a new talent buyer on to kind of, when we get out of this, maybe do more. And he's got a lot of connections and venues that he worked with in Buffalo. So he's now come on board so that we can kind of do things in a bigger way. And, my company, Rochester Entertainment, we sort of rebranded it into Rochester Entertainment Events so that we can now do some shows. And like, we've got like 3 or 4 rooms now that we've collaborated with, had conversations with about doing shows in Buffalo in their rooms, and kind of, whether we do a tour in tandem or we just do Buffalo and then, a few months later we'll do Rochester, do local programming in both markets. So that's kind of, cool, when we can get back to doing something. And in the meantime, Dan, I think we were talking about this at one point, maybe over the summer. We've done like some t-shirt fundraisers where we did a t-shirt with our logo, and we got a bunch of bands that, paid a little bit of money to get the name on the back of the shirt, and we sold that to like try to raise a little bit of money. We had some bands sort of set up a GoFundMe for the venue early on. I mean, this is probably like April or May. Tried to make a little bit of money doing that. With Rochester Entertainment Events, we adopted and created a whole new website, which we put a store on, and we got a little bit more merch, and we put that up for sale, and we've sold some of that. So we've done, anything and everything that we could to try to keep the brand going, keep momentum going, have some sort of content on Instagram or Facebook, or, here's a new website, you can go look at the store. Because all of those things, you just got to kind of keep people looking or have eyes on you of some sort. Yeah. So
absolutely. So I mean, Randy, I think it's pretty safe to say you've done everything you could and can to kind of keep out there and in the eye and trying new things. I love that idea of expanding into the Buffalo market. I think it just makes sense for you completely. Just widen the reach out a little bit and kind of just getting creative, right? Doing whatever you can.
A lot of this was, was conversation we were having before COVID. I mean, I think I was telling you there's a bigger venue like 4 blocks away named Anthology that's 1,000 cap, and I started to put more shows there. So we're trying to be probably more of a, production, promotion, talent buying company. And again, when COVID sort of hit, it slowed everything down. But, when this all gets over with, I hope that, we can start to do more and get at this. It's just, Gina, I think, I got to say, it's going to be weird. It's kind of like, they say like riding the bike. It's like getting back on the bike, but, none of us have been doing it. It's going to be a hard bike to get back on. I know. 2 o'clock in the morning, getting somewhere with 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock mode. It's going to be a challenge to go back to do what we did. And we're going to be rusty without a doubt. So, because even when we were open, we were, load in at 6:37, doors at 7:30. We would do 2 or 3 bands, try to round everything out to like 10 o'clock and then close. We just tried to have a very slim window of exposure and just kind of, let's just go in, do a couple bands, call it a night, that kind of thing. So once we get back to normal, it'll be like, trying to run again, walk again.
Yeah, right. You kind of get out of the groove, right? There's a groove and a consistency that you get into, and
and even the day to day, fielding offers and getting emails about, it's just, it's starting to come back. But as she could probably tell you too. I mean, with nationals, it was like, April and May went to, okay, we're gonna look at September, October. September, October went to, we're gonna look at February, March. Now February and March started to go till June and July. We're starting to see June and July now go to September, October, November. So it just keeps, like in terms of the national booking, it just keeps getting put off. So it's a little disconcerting, but we'll get there.
And Randy, that's for this year you're talking.
That's well, there is nothing yet this year. And like I said, for what was on the calendar, it might not move to the first quarter of, this year,
Okay.
It's now end of third quarter, fourth quarter. So, we're
gonna get
all of us, you, me, we're all waiting, this administration, hopefully the Defense Production Act and our stages and the money that small businesses should end up getting. we're all just hanging on for that, I think, at this point, because money's run out. It has.
Right. Yeah, I was going to ask you guys. Well, actually, Gina, go ahead. We can let's come back to that bill that got passed for venues and stuff.
Right.
We can talk a little bit about that. But
Okay.
Gina, what have you been doing with yourself here since this past year?
So right before the COVID in January, we were going to remodel the bar. The patio, we're putting like built-in seats. We just totally tore it apart. We took the sign down, and then so we didn't finish it. Now it's half done because now all the money that we saved, now we were having to live off that money. So my brother and then one of our country promoters, Greg, he's actually been working on his weekends for free just to help out. So whatever my brother and Greg can do, we're doing, but we're not putting any more money into it. So we're just going in there and trying to build it. And then now we're to the point that we used all the money that we saved. Now we're like 50 in the hole, and we're just I'm going to apply for the venue. I applied for the bank loan, and I still haven't got it. So we play it day by day. I mean, if worse comes to worse, we ask the marijuana place next door if they want to buy the land. So that's our backup. So, so we've been trying to fix and remodel as much as we can without putting too much money into it. I have a couple bands that come in there and they rent it out for a few hours. They each have their bands on each stage. And then, so I get a little money from that. And then that's it. Every time I think we're going to open, then we have to end up canceling those bands, and then we move them down 3 months down the road or 2 months down the road. As soon as we think we're going to open or we open, then he closes us down right before. So it's just, we never know what's going, if we're coming or going. So that's just been our.
So have you integrated yourself with like the National Independent Venue Association and Save Our Stages?
No, I never even heard of that.
We'll connect on
Okay, thank you.
Because you need to get into that. And then right now they're holding webinars. We just had one last week, and the website that they hold, you can watch the old one. And right now we're waiting for this administration to get everything together. And then it'll be conducted through the Small Business Association. So you and I will collaborate. We'll talk.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Because you should be able to be entitled to the same thing that we all are. There's what, Dan, is it like 15 billion, right?
Yeah. I know it came through. I saw the emails come through, and I saw the posts and the news stories on it. And I was real happy to see that get passed. And I knew it was mostly for music venues, because I mean, you guys have all that overhead where if you're an independent promoter, you got your events, but you don't have the building and the rent and all those extra things. I mean, maybe there's different challenges for promoters as well, obviously, but I know the challenges for you guys.
Yeah, once you apply, that we'll all get, because I think it's that money is basically for small businesses, i.e. like restaurants, but venues. Right. And our senator, Chuck Schumer, and like Klobuchar out of, where is she, Minnesota? So there's a bunch of prominent senators that got behind this Save Our Stages. So it's throughout the United States. So you definitely need to get involved in that and get applied, because that's where the money soon is going to be coming from. It hasn't
is that?
Go ahead.
Are you talking about the one that Trump passed December 27th? And it's for venues and promoters. Is that the one you're talking about, or is that a different one? Because I didn't see Save the Stages. So I don't. Are there two separate ones?
Yeah, and I'll like I said,
there's two different ones.
Email or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Save Our Stages is like one chapter, one part of like where this money is going to be rolled out. That is basically for small businesses, whether it's bars, restaurants. And the one thing early on, Dan, I'm dominating the conversation.
Oh, no. Go ahead, guys. I really want you to get this out.
Yeah, it was, they shut down bars and restaurants, at least in New York State. And, so we venues in Western New York, whether it be Rochester, Syracuse, Buffalo, we all started to, have these conversations, and, for lack of a better way to put it, like music venues were the forgotten soldier.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, we're a bar. And some of us, we serve food, but we're a music venue, which that's just never on anyone in the political world. It's not on their radar. You know, everyone knows what a bar is. Everyone knows what a restaurant is. And we're kind of like, yo. So the Save Our Stages got developed, and then they got the ears of some senators and congressmen. So anyway, they know who we are now, and we're going to be part of getting this money, and they've allocated money for us. So it's just a matter of, again, it'll all be soon, an application process.
Oh, good.
I know that we all have to then have our taxes ready. You know, it's going to be a whole thing where you've got to show them what you did in 2019. And I think they're going to base like what you get off of what you made in 2019, because they understand that we all didn't make anything in 2020. So, but we'll make sure that we all get together on that.
Very cool.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah, so definitely, Gina, see what Randy can pass on to you there, and anything that can help all of you guys out. I mean, there's a bunch of venues we work with in other places too. In Texas, everyone's going through the same thing, and there's little differences as far as the local government and stuff, and who can be more open and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, it kind of is one of those things where people don't realize how vital the local venues are to them until something is gone.
Right. And you really have to, you know, get on the internet all the time, and even in California, see what Governor Newsom is doing and what your, you know, senators or your counties and whatever, and just find out if they're giving Santa Ana, is that where you are? Or, you know, are they giving any money? Are they giving some sort of grants out for small businesses? Because, you know, you really have to look, because they're not going to find you. You have to find them. Rochester did one for small businesses, and we got a little bit of money for that. I mean, it's not anything that's going to save us. But
if you don't hear about it the day it comes out, you'll see it's already been closed, out of funds. So I've already kind of got screwed out of 3 of them so far. I applied. There's one in California I applied for, and I'll see what happens. I didn't get approved on the first round, so now we're waiting for the second round to see if I'm in on that one or not.
Yeah, I know around here, like the first
a little bit.
Was like PPP, and that's, you know, if you're a small place with, you know, a bartender on payroll and a manager, you know, 2 or 3 employees, it's not going to do anything for you. You know, mom and pop restaurants that have minimal employees, you know, payroll protection does nothing for you.
Nothing.
So this that's coming out in this big overall government funding plan will be what benefits us to put some money back in the bank account to, you know.
Well, hopefully it gets through, because I have a feeling every month goes by, there's more that are just going out of business. I mean, you can only hang on so long.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So,
yeah, and it says this session will end in like 7 minutes, so we'll just keep going, and then we'll see how far along we are, and then we can do a second one.
I think he has to, on his end, want to add more time or something.
Yeah, so I texted him, so we'll be all good. So yeah, I want to ask you guys how you got into the music venue business and owning a venue. So, you know, Gina, why don't you go first here?
Okay. So I bartended at the time when I bought it in 1993. I was already bartending for like 12 years. And one of my friends, he likes to invest in businesses. So he goes, why don't we get a bar? So we got the bar. And it just it never did any good. So he had one of his friends that is a punk band. So he started bringing bands in. And then we had, when the recession hit, then we lost like 85% of our business. All the companies wouldn't come in for lunch because they were all laid off or out of business. So we were going to go out of business. So I decided, why don't I make a second stage? And then we had a warehouse, and then we took the wall down so it was twice as big. And then to keep us in business, we started, because I figure instead of only being able to get 4 bands a night on the stage with 2 stages, now we can get like up to 10 bands a night. So that means we get twice as many people in. So and then before you know it, then we went into rock, we went into heavy metal, then different promoters would come in, and then before you know it, that's pretty much where we make all our money.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was by accident.
Nice.
But I like it. Yeah, I mean, I like it. I'm glad. I actually ended up really liking it, but it was by accident.
It's a great. You got a great place there, and I love the new. You got some new screens in there, right? Some new screens behind the.
Oh, we did a lot of work, because my brother works for audio. So him and my friend Greg, they kept finding like deals and stuff, and we put TVs outside everywhere. They got big screens coming down behind the stages. Yeah, it's really good now. Got
Very
more
cool.
speakers.
Can't wait till
Yeah,
we
I mean, if we could,
fire
I'm
back
hoping
up.
we can use it. Every time I
know.
get bummed, I'm all, we better be able to use this stuff again.
We were,
But you're gonna love it when you come back. You'll love
Yeah.
it, and it's gonna be really nice. Yeah.
Oh, we always love it there. You always make us feel welcome, and it's just always a good time. And,
Yeah. And
yeah.
and you're one of my favorites too. You're one
Oh,
of my favorites too, and not just
thank
because you
you.
said it about me.
Thank you
Yep,
very
so
much.
you're welcome.
Appreciate it. Now,
Yeah.
now, Randy, go ahead, and if we get cut off here, like I said, we'll continue on.
No, I was just, I think I've told you my story. I started doing this when I was a young kid here in Batavia, and in the area up in Buffalo, just running lights for bands. 16, 17-year-old wasn't even of age to be in the bar and in nightclubs doing live music. And then went out to California briefly and came back, got into radio. Radio led to a guy that ran, music clubs saying, I'm opening a new club. How would you like to come to work for me? And I had radio contact or record label contacts through the radio stations and started booking bands. And like Gina, just one thing led to another. And I ended up at this Montage music hall that had an owner that there was problems. He wanted to get out. And I ended up just buying the place. And, 13 years later, here we are.
And you guys both have a great love for music. Great love for music. Randy, I know your guy is Van Halen is the top of the mountain for you, right? Gina, how about you?
Yeah, that was a big rock, man.
I love Kid Rock.
Really? That's
and country. I've really started liking. What was that?
Oh, you're a country fan. I didn't know that. You said
yeah, I love rock, and then I got into country a lot too. So the one promoter that's been helping at the bar is a country promoter, so he's going to start bringing in some good country bands. So we're going to start doing a little bit of country now.
Nice.
Too.
Probably quite a few country bands hidden away there in SoCal somewhere, huh?
Yeah, he's going to do national acts, I think.
Yeah, okay.
And then we started a salsa too. So now we have we'll do one guy does salsa. And then he's going to start doing like a Spanish rock too. So we'll have a little bit of everything, except we don't do any more hip hop and no more punk. Too many problems. So. Oh,
with the punk shows as well?
Yeah, it's all going to be rock, metal, country, and some salsa and Spanish rock. Yeah.
Yeah, I know certain genres of music bring certain dynamics to each show, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I've talked to some recording engineers who will only record certain things now because it was just, they don't want to see a gun on the console when they're trying to do their mix. So it's all good though. Now, you guys are both obviously very supportive of the veteran community. So why don't we talk a little bit about why you guys are so giving to that demographic, the veterans and all the people that support them with the American Warrior shows and all the other things that you might do with veteran organizations. What's it mean to you guys?
Go ahead, Gina.
I just like to help because they're, just everything they do for us. That's pretty much it.
Right.
Yeah,
a no-brainer for you guys.
Same here.
Yeah.
Especially with what we've gone through in the last 10 months, whether it's first responders and nurses and whatever. You wish you could, I sort of always wrap my head around like, what more could we do? Like nurses and doctors come in free, but I don't really do the kind of music I think that they're going to cater to. But yeah, anything that you can do like that, veterans or anyone in the armed forces now or fire, EMT, whatever.
It's a great thing for the community as a whole too.
Right.
You bring in first responders. A lot of first responders are veterans. A lot of the local police and firemen and EMTs. So it's one big happy family. We get a lot of that. So what we'll do is we'll kind of let this roll out here, and then we'll start another one and just kind of close it out a little bit, get some final thoughts. And go from there, okay?
Sure.
Let's see what Don wants to do. So actually what we're going to do here.
shame down. Never fear for it cannot set you free. Simple power may be all you need. Far out than a hand grenade. Far out than a hand
All right, folks, sorry about being cut off there abruptly. We had some technical difficulties. We hope you enjoyed some of those American Warrior Festival bands. We're back with our guests, Randy from the Montage Music Hall and Gina from Stages out there in Southern California. And we have another special guest here, Kennedy Grace. Say hi.
Hi. Hi, Kennedy.
She wanted to meet you guys and tell you about her new band, the Pirate Kids.
Awesome.
So we're gonna be
nice.
rocking out. So yeah, guys, I really just wanted to kind of close with talking about maybe some of the future of some live events and some of the technology. We have some people that are getting into the virtual reality thing, where they're starting to do 360 viewing on the stage. You guys had a chance to check out any of the Oculus virtual reality goggles and stuff? Have you had a chance? No?
No,
Not me, no.
nothing other than what I've seen, like what Ronnie James Dio, there was something with him once or whatever. No, nothing on like a smaller venue scale.
Oh yeah, it's wild, man. I've checked a few out, and it's like putting you right on the stage. You can see the pedal boards. It's just a really wild look. It's cool, and I don't think it's crazy expensive to get it from the people that are able to create it and capture it and get it onto an app. I mean, I don't know the technical side of it, but I think it's reasonably priced to get it filmed. So
is this something that you're doing, you put it on the internet to people to watch?
Yeah, you can stream. Yep, you can stream it. So what I'm interested in doing is having the regular shows go on. You want to get down? Okay, say bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Kennedy.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So yeah, I think it's a combination of where you could have people live in the venue, but then you could have it being filmed, and then I believe Don knows more about it, but it could be kind of streamed out to people where they can watch it and maybe even have a better view. So it's really interesting. It's cool.
Right.
And I think they're doing it with sporting events already as well. I think like the NFL and all those guys, everyone's kind of, I think it's a cool way to kind of take a show. I mean, obviously live streaming for shows is really nothing new, but doing it in that sense, I think is pretty forward thinking, pretty new there. So
Yeah,
it's just something I wanted to run by you guys. Not sure if you've really heard much about it yet or had any bands
Not
talk
me.
about it or promoters.
No, and I think I was telling you before that, that was like the first concept was like the live streaming thing. And I was like, I just want to wait till we get people back in here and we just, live is live,
Yeah.
And it takes some money to get it done right. You know what I mean?
For
to
sure.
Get a good
sure.
3-4 camera angle thing going and put it to a decent feed so it sounds good. And I don't know.
Yeah,
It just wasn't for me.
We have a couple groups, actually. One is in Southern California that wants to do a fundraising thing. These guys down in Newport Beach. And they asked us, because we have some guys that have done the streaming stuff, and they wanted to do it at a certain level, and the budget that we had to give them was pretty substantial to do it right.
Right.
You know, and they wanted to get some large bands too. They want to get these bands in the rehearsal studios, which they'll probably catch a bargain there because they're not on the tour bus and they're not traveling. But the streaming and the film crew and getting it done right, and maybe pre-record some of it, so if the live feed goes down, you can kick in some of the pre-recorded stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we even had some agents reach out, and we, through our channels, you know, as if they were contacting us to book the band live. They would say, like, we did Soul Asylum, we did, well, there was 3 or 4, and we would just have the URL and whatever, and then there was like places where the agent would be like, we'll give you a couple dollars a view, and the rest of it goes to the bands. And honestly, Dan, some of the numbers were, for national acts, not that great.
really?
It's just, well, yeah, it's, you know, it's not the same.
Yeah, and that's the thing about the virtual reality and stuff. And, you know, it's exciting where it's headed, but there's still, just like an album in your hand still, you know. Being
right.
there, having your body inside a venue with the bands right there, and as cool as all that other stuff can be, and it's interesting, it still never replaces the organic feel and the live feel and the energy and the sights and the smells and being there.
And again, you know, without being, you know, and it was so new that, again, if you're not spending $2 or $3 grand, you know, we've recorded people through the soundboard before, and it's a very raw mix, and it doesn't do any band justice.
No.
So I was just, you know, I don't want to put something out there that we can't really control. And once we go through the 2 or 3 hours to do it, and it sounds and looks terrible, who's that bad for? You know.
I mean, there was a guy out in Newport that I used to work out with at the gym, and he worked on some pretty large live recordings, like the stuff like the Eagles, that level, really big stuff. You'd be like, Dan, you'd be amazed at how many of those guys come back into the studio and get a good vocal track in the booth. You know, and it's no mystery, right? Some of those great live albums aren't so live, right? You know, so
there was a local band that did it here, a cover band, Springer, and it was really, really good. But it was also, I think, the lead singer on Friends was said it was like, I want to see either 25 to 3,000 or maybe up to 4 between the audio company and the video company that had to do it to make it look that good. That's just a lot of money. And then how's the band getting paid? You know, who makes any money at that? And at the end of the day, it's not all about making money, but sure, it's what it is.
Well, sure. Yeah,
you know,
you can have all the art and all the entertainment you want. Just at the end of the day, things have to make sense financially for everyone as well. So, well, guys, you know, I just wanted to bring you back to talk a little bit about the future of that and some interesting things that I found with the VR stuff and getting back on the horse here. And hopefully everything gets opened back up for you guys. And you know, I just thank you so much for coming on and being a part of the music venue episode here.
Thank you.
Yeah. We look forward to doing some stuff this year.
Right. I'll shoot you a text with my information. You can get it to Gina, and we can email back and forth and make sure that because we're all trying to make sure that we all get covered, because we're a very small community when you're
perfect.
So we all need to help each other so that we all stay open.
Independently owned venues.
Yes,
you know, you guys are, I mean, doing it. I love that you guys are still doing it, and the people are still doing it, where it's independently owned. It's not owned by these massive companies that own 100 clubs. This is what you guys do. This is your shop, you know, so people need to know that. So it's been a pleasure, guys. And why don't we tell people really quick how to find you? And Don will also put the information in the description. Randy, go ahead and give them your contact information as far as your website and how to find out about your venue.
And again, it's pretty bland right now. There's not a lot of events up there, but montagemusichall.com and rochesterentertainmentevents.com.
Perfect. All right, Gina, how do we find you?
So unfortunately we changed the name, so I just signed up on Facebook, and I don't even remember if it's just Stages or Stages Bar. And then if not, you can do my personal Gina Vertucci on Facebook, and then you can send me a message, or I'll post when things start to open up. I'll post on that as well, and I'll put the new Facebook page and website up on there.
Perfect.
So pretty much Gina Vertucci on Facebook.
And all the best with the new name and everything. And I think it's fitting with the multiple stages. So, all right, guys. Well, hey, I'll let you get back to it. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. But appreciate you guys coming on. All right.
Okay. Thanks.
You guys take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye, you guys. Nice to meet you. Bye.
See you. Bye. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
The American Warrior Festival podcast, brought to you by Oliver's Candies, the creator of the American Warrior Festival candy bar. Oliver's Candies is proud to offer you the largest selection of award-winning chocolates made in Western New York. Visit them online at oliverscandies.com.
What's going on, everybody? Don T. Pena here. Just wanted to take a minute to thank our fellow Patreon supporters and let you know that if you wanted to become a fellow supporter of our podcast, all you got to do is click on the link below that is in your show notes. Or if you're listening to this / watching this on YouTube, all you got to do is go to the video description. We will have a link to the Patreon page right there in that description as well. And that will take you to the homepage where you can see the 6 different options for our Patreon program. Feel free to browse through it, guys. Click on them, see which one best suits you, and any support, any help that you guys would offer us is much appreciated. It helps us put more content out for you and push this podcast to that next level. Once again, guys, thank you for all your support. We're going to continue to do our job. You guys have a great rest of your day. We're out.
The American Warrior Festival podcast is brought to you by the Red Osier Landmark Restaurant, Oliver's Candies, Smokin' Eagle Barbecue and Brew, The Firing Pin, Orcon Industries, Ken Barrett Chevrolet Cadillac, TF Browns, One LLP, Batavia Legal Printing, Gun Track App, and AmeriHome Healthcare.